Hey guys, it's Leo from Gmargin. I just got a question that I wanted to answer via video. I've got a subscriber who's looking to start flipping stuff that he buys at auctions. There's a whole bunch of auctions by his house. He's got a pretty limited budget of $100, and he really wants to figure out the best way to distinguish which auctions he should bother with and which ones he shouldn't. So I've got a couple of different things I like to do with this. My biggest indicator for a cheaper auction would be just the location of the auction house. If the auction house is in a country area, I have here. I pulled one up that I'm actually going to be attending in about 3 hours. This is Kastner's auction in Branchville, New Jersey. I've been here once or twice before, but Branchville's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's between Pennsylvania and New York. So one thing I like to do though, whenever I'm starting to do a new auction, is I'll go and I'll click the map. What Click the Map does on Auction Zip is it sends you to a Google Maps of exactly where the auction house is. It's really useful for directions if you don't have a smartphone, which I do not. So, but you'll see here it's right in between Pennsylvania and New York. So that's a pretty good indicator that it's going to be probably a sparsely attended auction, which usually means that you'll get better prices. Secondly, I like to just check out the auctions website. Here we go. Actually, I already pulled it up, but this is a pretty simple website, as you can see. Basically, it's an exact copy and paste of the auction zip listing. So, there's not a ton of information. And I'll, of course, obviously use this to check out what items they have for sale. You can see that sometimes if they have a lot of descriptions, and sometimes you'll see like appraisals and estimates and all kinds of stuff, that's also a pretty good indicator of a higher end auction. In this case, all there is some pretty basic research done. This, is testing at 80% silver. This is a lace pitcher, obviously a Ballantine beer advertising clock. The whole reason I'm in this auction actually is because I was looking at the train set, and here's a little jet set pedal car that I had my eye on. Probably $150 to $175 out of that. But the one thing that did catch my eye that's super useful for determining if the auction is big money or not is the prices realized page. If an auction's running off of Proxibid, which is this online bidding service, then you'll be able to actually see how much each item sold for in their last auction. If they're not a Proxibid auction, which is this one, this is not at all on Proxibid, they have a prices realized page, which is kind of the same thing, except the prices realized page is basically the hall of fame for the items that this auction has sold at their facility. So think of it as like the creme de la creme items, the most expensive stuff they've sold in usually the last year or 2 years. So if you go to this and you see items that are priced out at like $150,000, probably not the best place to go to with a $100 budget. But I like what I'm seeing here. The high priced items, $2,000, $1,000, $400. Here's a Tiffany Studio pen that no, probably $10,000 with buyer's premium. So there is definitely somebody at this auction house who's doing their research, who's citing the auction items that are worth money. Here's a $1,000 picture frame from Tiffany Studios. These are actually pretty reasonable prices, but definitely not reasonable if you're trying to resell. That said, looking at these items, there's not, massive money. So I'm pretty hopeful this auction would probably be good for somebody with like a $200 to $250 budget. I'm actually this month going to be doing a stack challenge where I'm taking $500 and turning it into $2,000 in a month, hopefully. So this is perfect for me. I'm going to show up with $500 and hopefully get this pedal car for like 50, 60 bucks, and hopefully pick up these trains. And I might even go after a little bit of this glassware if the glass is in good condition. So that's usually what I do, just to check it out. Check out location, check out the website. Check out the items, of course, if there's high-end items or the items have like tons of description or appraisal or estimates, then you're looking at higher-end stuff. And then lastly, look at the prices realized or the proxy bid page to see how much money stuff is actually being sold for. So yeah, that's about it. I also found one last thing. It's kind of a speculation, but if the buyer's premium, which is the money you pay to the auction after you've won an item, if it's say 10%, usually that'll be a lower end auction. Sometimes in the higher end places you'll see 15%, 17.5%. I've even seen up to 25%. So look for the auctions that have a lower buyer's premium, and you'll probably be finding auctions where you were better suited for your budget. If you have a more flexible budget, obviously you can look for higher end items and higher end auctions. That said, a higher end auction is not indicative of a higher profit margin. Just make sure that you set your margin of safety. If you don't really know what that is, check out my website. I've got a whole article on margin of safety. and just kind of figure out which items you can buy for your margin, and go for those. And if it fits your budget, it fits your budget. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So thanks so much for listening. Check out my site. I'm adding a whole new subscriber page, and also subscribe to this channel if you want more information. Thanks so much. Bye.